Okay, let's give this a try. Once again, please remember this is a review, not a lesson about the digestive system. The lesson comes in class. So be several parts of this thing, so let's get started. And here's one to get started. There are several ways to look at the amount of information that you have to know for the sake of the digestive system. And here is a sort of simple way to get the thing on the road. Just looking at groups. For example, you need to know the 6 major organs of the digestive system: mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Of course, you need to know the 6 accessory organs: teeth, tongue, salivary glands, liver, gallbladder, pancreas. You need to know the 6 processes: ingestion, propulsion, mechanical digestion, chemical digestion, absorption, and elimination. You need to know the 6 nutrient groups: carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, water, minerals, and vitamins. Also, we're reducing the number of major enzymes that you need to know down to just 9, and they include salivary amylase, pancreatic amylase, maltase, sucrase, and lactase for the carbohydrates, then pepsin, trypsin, and peptidases for the protein, and then lipase for the triglycerides. We're going to focus our attention on 3 hormones: gastrin, CCK, and secretin. And looking at the layers of the alimentary canal from innermost to outermost, there's mucosa, submucosa, muscularis externa, and the outermost edge, serosa or adventitia. As far as the kind of linings that you could have along that tube, there is stratified squamous epithelium in the first section, then it switches to simple columnar epithelium, and then finally stratified squamous epithelium at the very end of the tube. As far as the muscular sections, it starts off with skeletal muscle, then it becomes smooth muscle, and then at the very, very end, a little bit of skeletal muscle. We're going to say that there's 7 sphincters you need to be familiar with, and again, it's the orbicularis oris, skeletal muscle, upper esophageal sphincter, which is also skeletal muscle, the lower esophageal sphincter, which is also known as the cardiac sphincter and the gastroesophageal sphincter. It's smooth. Then other smooth muscle sphincters include the pyloric sphincter, ileocecal valve, internal anal sphincter. And at the very end right here, skeletal muscle, the external anal sphincter. Other little things to sort of keep in mind is the pHs we're looking at. In around the mouth, it's around 6, and the stomach's about 3 to 4. And inside the small intestine, it's 7+, so around 8-ish. Also, some general ideas. There's 4 categories of the food material. Outside your face, we'll call it food. But what you swallow down your esophagus, we're going to call a bolus. The soupy mixture that's formed inside your stomach and goes all the way through your small intestine is called chyme. And when chyme moves into the large intestine and bacteria is added, it's then called feces. So this is the general overview of the most important things. Also down here, just to throw it in your stomach, you're also going to add something called intrinsic factor to be able to absorb vitamin B12. Of course, you're going to make hydrochloric acid in the stomach, and sodium bicarbonate is going to be something that is added in pancreatic juice and intestinal juice to buffer the acid that's coming downstream. And then, of course, there's going to be an emulsifier, and specifically bile. We could look at some of the volumes of liquid that are being added to the food material. There's about 1.5 liters of beverage that the average individual drinks per day. But as far as saliva is concerned, you produce about 1.5 liters of saliva and add that to the food per day. About 1.5 liters of gastric juice, about 1/2 to 1 liter of pancreatic juice, about 1/2 to 1 liter of bile, and about 1.5 to 2 liters of intestinal juice. All this to point out that you ingested about 1.5 liters of beverage, but you invested about 7 liters of your own body fluid. And again, it's significant that you need to reabsorb this material right here. Another convenient number to remember is if you ingest about 1.5 liters of beverage per day, it turns out that you produce about 1.5 liters of urine. And it's not that what you drank straight went to urine. It's just that what you drank kind of represents an excess, more than you had to have to be able to keep things running. And one thing that your urine is a way of throwing away anything in excess in your body, even if it's good stuff, anything in excess. Okay.